8:08 on a Sunday, Boston, Massachusetts.
Guys, I got some news, some terrible news. We got a huge problem.
I feel like we could do a podcast and it would be a million times better than whatever that drivel was we were listening to.
The hell is a podcast?
What is that? The future of radio, you jabronis.
Heyo, and welcome to the Always Sunny cast. I'm your host Eric,
And I'm your boy toy Ross.
and this is the podcast where we analyze, break down, dissect, and take a look at Always Sunny, episode by episode, scene by scene, just to get at the heart of what makes it so funny. And yes, Ross, hello, my boy toy.
How you doing?
My boy toy.
Well, the listeners'
The
boy toy.
listener's boy toy, yeah. I love that in this episode where Mac
The
is
people's
like,
boy
I
toy.
like in this episode where Mac is like, I'm the boy toy. Oh, you kind of gets excited about it?
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't. It's probably too late for either of us to really say this, but Happy New Year.
It's way too late. It is way too late because by the time this gets released, it's gonna be, June at this point.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but do we have any business or anything to take care of up top?
No, probably not. I hope not.
It's the listeners.
Do you have business?
No, it's the listeners' lucky day. We're gonna jump right into it.
Okay, let's go.
Today we are talking Season 6, Episode 2, Dennis Gets a Divorce. Original air date is September 23rd, 2010. Written by Dave Shernan and John Shernan. Ross, I was unsure if we've talked about these guys before. They're the creators of the Mick, and they seem to have only written on the Mick and Always Sunny. And I was so strange. I was like trying to find their episode list because Ross, I'm so forgetful.
No, I actually do remember one of their episodes, a Philadelphia episode.
Okay, good. I thought so too. I thought we talked about them before too. And Ross, what's the IMDb summary?
The IMDb summary. Marital bliss turns to marital business as the gang experiences the emotional and economic tribulations of divorce.
That's like pretty well written.
I know.
It almost seems like it's written almost
Dude.
like with like the prose are like interesting, like more than
Yeah.
just it's
deep.
It was like like a thought was put into that.
Dude, this so far is 2 for 2. Last episode we had a
Yeah.
good one as well.
They're stepping up for Season 6.
They blow my mind. They woke up.
I bet you somebody at IMDb. This has got to be 100% true.
What do you
Someone at IMDb listens to our podcast and knows that we're gonna read the summary, so they went back and edited them all to sound good.
Like they went back in time and edited them.
No, they did it like ahead of time. Like, oh, they're gonna get to Season 6. I'm gonna do it now, so when they get to Season 6, it'll be fixed. Like they'll be good.
Maybe.
Maybe 100% true. I mean, I couldn't imagine anything different.
That'd be awesome if they did.
Ross, can I just say something real quick before?
Yeah, what do you got?
While we're on the IMDb thing, I usually take notes like at a desk with a computer and stuff, but I was taking them in the living room, so I was using my phone with IMDb up to just kind of help me out what I was doing.
Okay.
And I never noticed this before, but did you know that the episodes have like kind of like hashtags, like keywords that you can search to find the episodes?
No.
Do you know that? So they
where?
There's like within the like underneath IMDb when you go on there, there'll be like a list of keywords, and you could click on them, and then it will like search other things that have the same keyword.
Okay.
Ross, I'm gonna read you the keywords for this episode. You tell me what you think of this. Now,
Dude, you're
this
gonna
is
have to provide all of them now. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm gonna do all of
They're
them.
good.
They're a little crazy in my opinion. I wouldn't want this episode popping up under some of these categories. Okay, these are the keywords: adulterous husband, cell phone, woman wears lingerie, gay subtext, divorce lawyer, drunken man, new car, camera, debt, affair, kidnapping. Now, kidnapping. It's like, let's I don't know if this is about kidnapping.
I don't think it's about cameras either.
That's true. Uncle-nephew relationship, convertible, car, craft, stripper, bachelor party, prenuptial agreement, gay marriage, husband-wife relationship. This is probably my favorite one. Character, name, and title. That's probably my favorite one.
Okay.
So if you want to find other things that have a character's name in the title.
Oh,
Character
boy.
name in the title. Unemployment, bare-chested male, infidelity, strip club, text messaging, photograph, pool table, lawyer, annulment, mistress, fanny pack, alimony, saying I love you. What is that? Saying I love you.
Does anyone say they love someone in this episode?
Yeah, Maureen Ponderosa at the beginning.
Oh, yeah. I love you. I love
$10
you
bill.
too, Maureen.
Let me go through just a couple more. $10 bill, BMW, pedophile, divorce, character repeats someone else's dialogue, and child snatching.
Child snatching.
Like a lot of that is
Is that different than kidnapping?
I guess it is, but like, you know, somebody's searching for a child snatching. First of all, I don't know why you want to watch. I don't know why you're looking for that, but you're looking for, so like you're searching child snatch, and this episode comes up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I find that. I find the key. Listen, IMDb. If the IMDb guy out there who is 100% the IMDb guy is out there.
Yeah.
His name is Guy. That's why I say
Guy.
You got to change. You got to change those keywords.
Yeah.
You know what? You shouldn't even have keywords. Let's just go there.
Yeah. Or start with like hashtag It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah. What?
Or
That's a good point. Like truly, a lot of that kind of like photograph and camera and stuff. Like, I don't know. IMDb, get it together. All right. Sorry for that divergent, people. That took way, way, way too long. Okay, Ross, the trivia. This was written in 2010. So what is our trivia today?
it's a long one as well.
Oh, no. Everyone just skip forward. We should put a little disclaimer. Skip forward a minute and a half.
Yeah. Folks, this is an article from yourtango.com. This is 10 biggest celebrity divorces of 2010. I'll run through them. Tiger Woods and Elin Nordjurgen. I can't say that. Remember that one, the Tiger Woods one?
Not even a little bit.
What? You don't remember this? She like attacked
No,
him with
you're
a
a
golf
golf
club.
guy. No, I don't know.
It was on the news. It was everywhere. Okay, Eva Longoria and Tony Parker.
First I'm hearing of it.
First I'm hearing of them. Christina Aguilera and Jordan Bratman. Charlie Sheen and Brooke Mueller. Kate Winslet and Sam Mendes. And then there's one called Spidey. Do you know who Spidey is?
No.
It's like
Spidey?
It's like one of those joint names for a couple.
Oh,
It's a mashup.
I have no clue.
Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag.
Oh, two people I never heard of?
Yeah.
I was like, you wanted me to figure that out?
All right. Leanne Rimes and Eddie Kirabreen. I can't say that. And Victoria Duffy and the late great Dennis Hopper.
Wow.
And Sandra Bullock and Jesse James and Al and Tipper Gore.
Okay, nice. Very good. Thank you, Ross, for the divorce report.
You got
we
it.
should just add that to the segments every time.
Just rattle off a bunch of divorces.
Ross, I see that you're over there dancing like you're driving a motorcycle, so that must mean we're ready to go.
Yep. Bend the bike, bro.
All right, cold open, 7:30 a.m. on a Monday in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. As Dennis is leaving his apartment to go to work, he wakes up Maureen, and it clicks in that he's married, like really married.
Yeah, they are locked in now.
So this just picks up, it picks up, I guess, 3 days after the last episode, because she establishes, he's leaving money here, and he says, I left you cab money, and it's the third night in a row that he's done this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a Monday. So it's been 3 days. So they had the weekend to do like the kind of the honeymoon phase, as
Dennis calls it, yeah.
Dennis puts it. Yeah, the honeymoon phase.
So now he's expecting that, he's going to be, or she's going to be moving on, or going home, or going to work.
Before we even get into that, what do you think about the way this starts? How it starts sort of as if like you had to have seen the last episode, yes or no? What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. We talked about it last episode. Nothing actually concludes.
Why wasn't the last episode a to be continued and this be a two-parter? Because it's not a two-parter.
I know. The name, I think, really muddies things up, and we'll get to that when we talk about the title card. You know what I mean? Because
Okay.
it's like a
Yeah.
non sequitur. But yeah, I mean, if you didn't watch the last episode, you don't know what's going on.
It's a pretty bold choice. I think they just were like, who cares?
Yeah, and I kind of applaud them for that.
Yeah, I don't care. Totally. Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, so he's getting his keys and he wakes up Maureen as he's leaving. He's leaving the cab money, and this little thing where she's like, "I'm already home. Like I'm already home, silly, with the cab money."
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. We're married, and that's cool. I'm psyched, dude. That's great. So yeah, okay.
Incredible acting.
I love the
Incredible.
pauses and the breaks and the.
He says he calls her dude.
Yeah, psyched, dude.
I'm psyched, dude. Katie hates when I call her dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
It's just because she's like, I'm not your dude, you know. I don't know. I'm like,
It's a
it
term
just
of
slips out.
endearment.
It just slips out in like
Yeah.
how you're talking, you know. This is funny the way like can you imagine like you meet someone and you not only marry them but you move in, like you're about to go through a move.
That's
She
right.
moved in this weekend.
It's a lot of work. I mean, she's already. I mean, we saw this last episode thanks to Nancy Katie, but she already moved into Mac's room, that crafting area.
Yeah. What's going on with her original apartment? Where did she live
I know.
before?
We never discover where she lived before.
It's very funny. Like just like the idea of just like moving in like that is so crazy.
It's a little soon.
I bet it's happened. So yeah, so it's funny where like Dennis is like, we're married with psych dude. He's doing that whole thing, and when the way he's acting is when he's like, oh, you could use the money to go to work, and then she's like, oh no, I don't have a job. He's like,
oh, I don't
you're
work.
saying-
I don't work. It's like
So
a
what you're
bolder
saying is-
statement to me.
yeah, I don't work. And just the way he's just like, oh, like, I thought you were, but what you're saying is you don't have a job. Like, I like the way he says, so what you're saying is, like, he's trying to process it himself,
Say it back to her.
Yeah. He's like kind of like trying to state it out loud so he makes sense to him.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. So you don't have a job at all.
At all. The way he does that is such incredible acting. The pause and the at all. Like, just the acting of that is so good. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it kind of now it's clicking in with him.
Yeah. Who Maureen really is, kind of.
And even as he says later on, the gravity of his situation is sort of
Right.
clicking in here at the minute. And he realizes that he hasn't had a pass of the apartment yet because it all happened so fast.
Mhm.
So she probably shouldn't look around while he's at work.
Oh yeah, don't go snooping around too much. It's all happened very fast, and I haven't had a time to pass yet. Don't look
Yeah.
in those drawers.
And the acting, his eyes keep shifting over to him. They never even show the drawers
Right.
or anything.
Yeah,
his
but
eyes just keep shifting
Because
over.
it's haunting him, and it's like there's a thing over there, and I'm kind of.
And we remember these drawers. This is
I rattled off everyone that I could read.
waitress, coffee, waitress. Yeah. So yeah, he didn't have a pass to kind of clean. He even just tells her. She's like, well, what's in the drawers, and he's like, my sex tapes.
All right,
He just tells her.
I gotta go.
Yeah, and she's like the hey, I love you.
Yeah.
And this acting of him where he does this like chuckle, he pauses, he goes, I love you too. Like he does this like weird like I'm in so much trouble. Like the chuckle
Yeah.
of like, oh, you know what I mean? It's like, can you believe what I have to do right now?
He's
Like,
realizing what this all really means.
Yeah. It's funny too because he was so psyched the last episode. He was so pumped for this.
Right, but they're like their attention spans are so like short on things, especially.
Yeah.
we
It's true.
learn next episode like their attention span is so like thin. It's like
That's one of the things I always was like, man, they're so genius in that next episode where they just say it. They just say we don't have the attention span. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They just
No.
like there's no subtext or
It's
anything.
great.
They just say, yeah, we don't have attention span. That's why things are crazy all the time. Yeah, and this thing they do here where he says he loves her back, and they do this thing where she's like, starts doing this
yeah,
choking
like
thing, and
it's
then-
like this it's this like cat and mouse play from like across the
At first,
room.
it's kind of like, yeah, because
Action
at first it's kinda like, I'm going
reaction
to
thing.
hug you. Like, I'm going to hug you.
Right.
But it turns into like choking. And then she reacts as if she's being choked.
That's strange.
It's very funny. It's a very funny choice that like this like thing that's happening between the two of them right here is so ridiculous. And then we get the title card. Dennis gets a divorce.
Here we go. Let's talk about it. So last episode,
Mac fights gay marriage.
Mac fights gay marriage. And that episode like kind of like heavily played on his problem,
Yeah.
And so now we're seeing like it heavily play on Dennis, where we could have just called it like the gang gets married and then the gang gets divorced, right?
Right. Yeah. And Mac's whole storyline is completely gone.
Right. Yeah. Not even a mention of it.
Yeah, but he even says, like, in that last episode, remember when he goes to D and he's like, whatever, like, I'm cured, kind
I let
of.
it go.
Like, kind of say, I let it go. He kind of did let it go. I
Mhm.
mean, so, so that's interesting. Yeah, his whole thing is kind of, and that is why this needs 2 episodes to tell.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But it is still, they don't consider it one long episode.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I think that's the only thing that concluded Mac.
So far, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Last
Yeah, you're right. I mean, and D didn't really even have anything. It was like the start of D's thing.
Yeah, we didn't really like learn till like late,
So then after the opening credits, at the bar, Dennis, Charlie, Mac, and Frank are discussing Frank and Charlie's marriage when D comes in and the marriage conversation just continues.
Yeah. We got Charlie cleaning some glasses behind the bar.
Yeah,
Doing
yeah.
work. We haven't seen them do work in ages.
Charlie doesn't like the way this domestic partnership has started out.
Right. On some shady, bullshitty grounds.
Yeah, what is he talking about?
Well, he's talking about Frank tricking him into signing the prenup.
Oh, is that what it is?
Right.
Oh, okay.
He's
That's
like,
not even okay.
yeah, because Frank directly after that says, "Get over it. You signed the prenup. Case closed."
Oh, I just thought he meant like you signed a prenup. Stop complaining about anything.
Oh, I mean,
Oh, I see. I
Could
see
have
what
been.
you're saying. You're right, though. I didn't make the connection, but you're probably right. Yeah, he had him sign a prenup. He tricked him into it because he told him it was the phone bill.
well, of course I signed it.
Look, if it's about money and papers, Charlie's gonna sign it.
Yeah, I mean, me too.
It's so funny. Like Frank couldn't like even bother to come up with a better lie than the phone bill. This is where D comes in, and she's happy because she's got a new car.
Yeah, I mean, we got D crashing in here. She throws her keys right down on the bar. The bar
She
top.
throws the keys on the bar top, and they don't even
Acknowledge her
move their heads
whatsoever.
They don't react to it at all, and they basically completely ignore her.
Now, Eric, I usually don't talk about these types of things, but Dee's wearing like kind of one of those like baggy shirts. You know what I'm talking about? And I think it's
Right.
because like probably during filming, she either hasn't had a kid yet, or is
No, I think she's
possibly
pregnant
just
because
after.
she's pregnant because she gives birth at the end of this episode,
Right.
End of the season.
Yeah. So I'm assuming she's like hiding the bump right now.
Katie said the same thing. Katie was going, she's definitely pregnant right now. You could tell she's definitely pregnant. And I was like, all right, relax. And she was grabbing my arm and shaking me.
Jeez. Started choking you?
No, yeah. But no, yeah, she was like, oh yeah, she looks like they're trying to hide it. They did a similar thing with Julia Louis-Dreyfus in Seinfeld.
Yeah. Totally.
Where they
A
put
few
them in
times.
these like bigger clothes and just the way they're shot
Mhm.
and stuff, and yeah. So yeah, she throws it on the bar top, and they ignore her. So Dennis is even curious, like, because this is sort of like something that happened in the last episode where Frank and Charlie got married, and now Dennis is sort of catching up on it.
Right.
And he's like, "Why'd you guys get married? In the first place." He's questioning it, and it was because Charlie needed benefits for his back.
Right. The health benefits, yeah.
Right. And Frank is mad that it's like he's getting that, but Frank is getting
Nothing.
diddly squat, as he says.
Mhm.
What could Frank get out of this? I mean, I can't even. What would he get out of
I don't know.
this?
Maybe some sort of tax break, I can imagine.
Why not just help your friend out? Can you do
I
it
have
out of
no
the
idea.
goodness
Yeah.
of his heart?
I mean,
Remember when he like briefly liked giving things away in,
in
the
the
Christmas episode?
yeah. I miss that,
That
Frank.
Yeah, it seems to have gone away. And this is funny too when they explain the benefits thing. We do like a pan over because Dennis is like, "Why are you bathing in the sink?" And we pan over to see Mac has been bathing in the sink the whole time. This has all been going on.
Because I don't have a home anymore.
The bar is open. Like there's people in the back drinking and stuff.
I know.
Like,
It's so gross.
yeah, he doesn't have a home anymore because he got kicked out last episode to make room for Maureen's craft room.
Yeah, so this is where he showers. This is where he lives, Dennis.
I mean, I would be so mad. Like he's taking it. He says he's mad, but he's taking it kind of cool.
Yeah, especially for how volatile Mac can be.
And Dee's getting a text message. This guy keeps texting
This
her.
is pathetic.
This is where Frank asks, like, he's talking about the prenup, and Frank wants to know if Dennis signed a prenup. And he's saying, like, Dennis, of course you signed a prenup, right?
No. Should I have?
Isn't it a little strange for Dennis to not be sort of
Privy
ahead
to something like
of it?
this?
Yeah, just sort of ahead of it on some sort of like scam level or some sort of like protecting his ass kind of level. You know what I mean?
I don't know. This is like too much like paperwork for me, I think, for Dennis to really want to get involved in, you know? Like Frank would have the wherewithal to know about a prenup, you know?
Yeah.
Because he's more business savvy.
We'll just talk about it later. I mean, it works. Like the show can make anybody the
Anything,
dumbest person,
yeah.
and it works. But there are points where sometimes I'm like, is that a little too dumb for Dennis?
It could be, yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is one of them, maybe a little bit, but later on too, especially when he's like, I should get a lawyer. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, no, he didn't sign a prenup, and this is where she starts going like, typical, so typical, just like.
I mean,
Dee's
my
talking to
God, D,
her.
you clearly have something to say, so let's just get it over with.
They've been like ignoring her the whole time, and
Right.
they just yell at her for this. But I do hate what she's doing too.
Oh, I hate this. Yeah, this like calling for attention, but like not specifically asking for it, or I don't know.
So apparently, Bill Ponderosa is texting her nonstop, and he bought her a car
D, are you seriously bragging about sleeping with a married man?
from Charlie.
I
Isn't that,
know.
like, that's like an intelligent, like thoughtful thing from Charlie.
Yeah, very
say.
insightful.
Very insightful, yes. And she's kind of like, you can see in her face, she's kind of like, oh, this is not going the way I wanted it
Yeah,
to go.
she thought they were gonna be like, oh, that's cool. I don't know what she thought their reaction was gonna be. Impressed.
Yeah, impressed. Because Mac is like, you were on your high horse about the sanctity of marriage, and now you're ruining one?
Exactly.
And but she says she's not doing anything wrong. She's not married.
I mean, I'll give her that. Like, she is not the one married and ultimately not making, like, the decision for Bill, but she also knows what she's playing into, I think. Especially with the car. You got to jam the car in my face. She's, like, in it for something.
Car's off the table,
Right.
Ross. The car is off the table. So this is where but Frank here does say, well, you let him buy you a car. You know what I mean?
Well,
And
I'm
he's
not going to go passing on free cars.
pass on free. Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna go pass on free cars, right? I mean, have you ever been bought in a car, Ross?
No.
No,
not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. No woman
Well-
has ever been like, let me buy you a car.
Let me see what I can do for next Christmas. But
You're going to find me a
So-
woman that will buy me a car.
so speaking, this is where like Dennis goes like, speaking of marriage and Dee being such a whore, I should have a bachelor party. Isn't it crazy?
What a segue into that.
Yeah, what a segue is to go to a strip club is from that. You know?
And you know what? They haven't been to a strip club in a really long time. And it used to be kind of like a hangout for them, right?
Totally. It's about time they got back there. I agree. Yeah, because he says, everything happens so fast. He didn't have a bachelor party, and so Mac should throw him one.
Right now?
Yeah, right now. Like, what time do you think it is?
I have
It
no
seems
idea.
like the morning.
Yeah, it
just
seems
because
early.
Mac is getting like ready. Like, but it could be like noon.
Yeah, I mean,
Still too early for a strip club. In my
Sure.
opinion. Yeah. Anyway, anytime before, I don't even know, 10 p.m. Too early for a strip club.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know. You're talking to the wrong guy.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
I
not
don't
really
know. I have no idea.
frequenting any strip clubs. So
So yes, and he it's like Mac is mad at Dennis for kicking him out of the apartment, and now Dennis seems to be mad at him for not throwing him a bachelor party.
So they're even.
So
right?
they'll be even. Yeah, they'll be even. Some pretty crazy logic. But Frank's been confused about this whole marriage thing. He wants to get his hetero on, so he's ready. He wants to do it.
Frank is down.
So then we cut to a strip club where Dennis, Mac, Charlie, and Frank throw Dennis a bachelor party. Want to get dirty? The song.
Yeah, it's called "Dirty with You" by Black Lack.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's a cool song.
Yeah.
Once I figure out how to set my ringtone.
And we see the gang here at a table, and Mac's doing some dancing.
Yeah, I mean they're all kind of doing a little bit of a dance of some sort
A little shuffle.
Yeah.
And yeah.
in their seats, kind of moving back and forth.
Yeah. And this dance that Mac is doing, like he's on a
I love it.
motorcycle. This is like how I would dance.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah, like this is like would be my impulse to just do like the
Just a
handlebars and the shrug in the shoulders. And Charlie's like, I like that. Charlie's feeling it. Charlie starts doing it.
Mhm.
Charlie's bending the bike though. He's bending the
I
bike.
mean, that's not really how you ride a motorcycle.
Well, he's not really riding a motorcycle. Dennis cuts that. Well, he's not really riding a motorcycle.
Well, if you're not going to take it seriously, then don't do it.
I think you're taking it too seriously. This sounds like, I don't know what about this like conversation, but this is like, I feel like this is like us and our improv team sitting around. Like this is
yes,
like,
exactly.
This is something that
this is like a stop down in our improv set.
Yeah, this is like some stupid
I mean,
thing
it's such a funny conversation, and it's such a throwaway too.
Yeah, I just love the idea of like, well, he's not really driving him.
But
So
I
it's
mean, to an extent, it does really show like Mac's bossiness and controlling behavior.
It was because Charlie was like one upping him.
Yeah, everyone liked Charlie's version a little bit, so he got some
Yeah.
attention, and Mac couldn't handle it.
Dennis gets a text message here from Maureen, and she misses him.
Miss you. I'll just write miss you too. Now, do I write the word two, or should I use the number two?
Now, I remember a time where I used to stress over like
Yeah, no, I get it. No, I don't care whatsoever anymore.
me. I mean, I don't have anyone to do that. Katie, you know what? It's not the same. You know, when you're dating someone, you like stress on like what to text them and stuff, and it's just
right. There's a little more weight and gravity.
Yeah.
Like, because you could say the wrong thing, and that.
It's never been as trivial if I should use the number two or the word two. I think it's safe to say always the word, but I don't. Yeah, this conversation. This is something everyone can relate to.
Yeah, totally.
Now what's up with Frank? Well, yeah, what's up with Frank in this scene now? Are they trying to do something with Frank because he's wearing his hoodie in a weird way, and he's wearing like a purse? Is this because they're married? What is going on here?
What, you mean the hoodie would be like a indicator of gender thing along with the purse?
I don't know.
Is that
Yeah,
where you're
like
going?
because he has his hoodie on, like kind of like over his shoulders, like a jacket. Not even like a jacket, like a cape or something.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now I now know the imagery that you're describing.
And he's
I
and he's got and they're like, "What's up with the purse?" And he's like, "Oh, this is my money bag." Like, why is Frank have a money bag? He's never had a money bag, before.
I think in this setting, for some reason, it does feel right that he does because he wants to make it rain and like.
Right, of course.
But like it is a physical like prop to say like I'm tightening the purse strings, like
Yeah. Right.
It does serve the scene, but.
So he's there. He's gonna make it rain because he's got some money, and
Charlie's nervous about that. What is that? You chuck money everywhere? Don't do that.
As with Dennis is like, I want to make it rain. Mac, let him make it rain for me or whatever. He wants money from Mac.
Why are you asking
for
me?
this. Yeah, because he can't fund his own bachelor party.
Just tacky.
I'd be so frustrated if I was Mac. Mac is in the worst position.
I mean, I'd want to kill Dennis. Never mind.
And he's like, fine. And then there's a stripper walking by. Do you have anything on the stripper before we?
Yes, I do. Stripper is played by Carolyn Martin. She was in Confessions of a Womanizer, Super Shark, The Guest House, and a bunch of Jimmy Kimmel stuff. So like sketches and whatnot, and something called Shifting.
Mac wants to know, what is the recommended amount in order to make it rain?
At least 1,000.
What do you think of that?
I mean, I don't know. You're talking to the wrong guy. I don't know. Making it rain.
You've never made it rain, Ross?
Not that way.
Wouldn't you love to, though?
Yeah, it'd be cool to be able to do
Would
that.
it be awesome? Imagine just throwing, just tossing a bunch of money. Like, it would be crazy.
Yeah, I'd cause chaos at like the mall. Just like
In the mall. You go down in front of Hot Topic and just start making it rain.
Topic. Spencer's gifts, bro.
So, and then this is where Frank is like, you know what? Well, how much is for a couple's dance? You know, because and the stripper questions them
you have
being
to be
a
a couple
couple.
for that.
Charlie, the documents.
All right, this is what it was all for.
This was awful. What they say right in front of her.
Right. I mean, so far this is potentially the only benefit that Frank has seen so far,
Right.
and they get denied.
Right. It is cool. There's so Charlie's wearing the certificate, the marriage certificate, basically.
Right. This is I mean, it's like around his neck, like a lanyard.
It's
Laminated too.
Laminated. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, it's laminated. Yeah, and it doesn't work. So Frank's like, "Screw it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna make it rain." But Charlie wants some money. You know, he's his husband. Give him some money.
And Frank pulls out a measly $10. He doesn't even want to do it.
It was hard to get out too. It's he had to push the other money back in. And Charlie doesn't even want it though. Charlie doesn't even take it. He doesn't want his money. What are you gonna do with $10 at a strip club?
Split a drink with somebody. I don't know.
Could you get a drink? Yeah. I'm saying, could you even get a drink?
No.
And this is where Dennis gets another text, and she misses him more. Classic Maureen. Classic.
Always has to outdo me for some reason, but he doesn't care for that.
That's new information and doesn't really come back.
Yeah, we don't get anything from that, but I do like that he's slowly agitating him.
And he also has to get the last word though, because he writes back, "Miss you most." Why doesn't he just let it go?
I don't care, dude.
Don't you sometimes it's oh man, to just be able to say that. I don't care.
I mean, I wish.
At Dee's apartment, Dee comes home to find Bill Ponderosa waiting for her because he was kicked out of his house. So she comes up there and she starts thinking oh, all right, yeah, I can't get enough. Once you pop, you can't stop.
Yeah, they have a little laugh for a second.
Yeah, but no, actually, he's there because he came clean to his wife and he got kicked out of his house.
Ooh, bet you wish you could take that one back.
Ouch, she says, ouch. No sympathy at all.
Oh, yeah.
Not even a little bit. She wasn't even going to let him in the apartment.
Oh, no. She has no intentions of letting him in.
And he wants to stay there. And when she suggests a hotel or something, and he says that she froze his assets.
Yeah.
Can you do that? What does that mean?
I have no idea. I don't know.
He must be rich, right?
I'm guessing he's pretty wealthy.
He has to be. If he bought a BMW, we'll talk about the BMW later, but
right.
He bought her a BMW.
And his wife is driving a very nice car as well.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
They have a nice house, and I don't know. He's got to have some cash.
Dee is denying him, saying no. She doesn't want him in her space. But he says, I bought you a car.
Well, before he even goes there, you are somewhat responsible for this.
Oh, right.
And how do you feel
right,
about that shift of responsibility? Do you think Dee is to blame?
Do I think Dee is to blame
For Bill?
I mean, the majority of blame is on Bill. He's making the choice
right?
to go outside of his marriage, but she's also making the choice to participate in that.
And
They're
he's
both
also
making
making the choice to tell his wife.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, how about this? Do you think she should let Bill stay there?
I think she should. Yeah.
Yeah, then maybe, yeah, because why? Because she's partly responsible? Or
yeah.
No?
I guess so. All right. Case closed.
You know what I mean? It's kind of
You're
like,
my new lawyer.
I don't know. We'll take a picture for the website, but just don't show my hands. So and then she's like, "Oh, you have to bring up the car or whatever." She's like, "Okay, you can come in."
You could jam the car in my face.
Jam the car in her face. I mean, he did buy her a car. Let him stay the night.
Yeah, I mean that's mostly why I think she should let him stay.
Yeah, even more than like she's partly responsible. It's sort of like, well, you should be thankful. Maybe thankful. Like, I don't even know. It's such a weird situation. Like,
yeah, because it like it shouldn't be this like transactional, but like
this happened over this weekend. He bought her a car over the weekend.
yeah,
Guy moves quick.
He's got people working for him. He's a
you know how
a
long it
huge
takes to
deal.
buy a car? You have to like wait like days for to get him in the dealership.
It took like 2 weeks for the paperwork to go through.
Well, we're gonna find out at the end
For
of the
me.
episode. The car actually belonged to someone else. Like, he actually already bought it and gave it to someone else. So it was around. So then at Dennis and Maureen's apartment, Mac and Dennis come home drunk, and Maureen kicks them out.
What are you doing? It is 2 in the morning. I was sleeping, Dennis.
That's cool. Well, you're up now, baby girl. So let's do some shots.
No, I don't drink. You know that. I think it makes people look ugly.
Maybe I should go to my room.
But that is not your room anymore. It is my craft studio, so kindly stay out of there.
Don't freak out, dude. It's all good, dude. She turned it into a craft studio where she makes terrible sweatshirts out of cats or puts cats in sweatshirts. And then I'm like, dude, what the hell did you do?
What? Dennis, do not talk to me that way. I am your wife. Please show me some respect in front of your friends.
You know what? I'm not entirely certain that you are my wife, because I remember marrying Maureen Ponderosa, and you are no Maureen Ponderosa.
That doesn't even, I don't know what that, what?
Divorce!
What did you just say?
I will divorce you, Maureen. I'll do it.
Okay, you're drunk. Why don't we just go to bed?
I'm not drunk. I'm more sober than I've ever been in my entire life. Okay, I'm a little bit drunk. I'm totally drunk, but my mind is sober. And my mind is telling me the following. I don't love you, Maureen. I don't love you. I never loved you. You're annoying and you're strange.
I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything, because every time you open your mouth, I'm like, ugh, it's like your breath. It's like always. It's so bad. It's like a dead tooth. It's the dead tooth. I'm saying it now. I'll say it. You have a dead tooth. You realize that, right? And I hate it, and it's annoying.
I want you and your boy toy out of my apartment now.
I'm the boy toy. You're my boy toy. You know, I'm not going to leave our apartment, or should I say my apartment, because it's my apartment.
Oh, yeah? How about if you guys don't leave? I call the cops. I tell them you beat me.
What in the hell are you talking about? I didn't touch you. What are you doing? What is that? I recognize that. What is that?
Oh shit, that's from Fear, dude.
Oh, that's Marky Mark.
That's Marky Mark. That's what Marky Mark does. He does that, and then
Oh shit! And then the cops come in, and and then the police think that William
he gets
Peterson,
it.
the guy from
Go,
CSI.
she means business. She means business. Oh shit.
The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Oh. Thin Lizzy, a song that is a reoccurring song on Always Sunny. We see it in other episodes. This is like a song they sing and is a thing.
I think I really only know the song because it was in Guitar Hero.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure. And so, this is interesting where they come in singing the song. Now,
I know what you're thinking, because it seems diegetic, but it isn't.
But it isn't.
Yeah.
So why? So like they are not listening to this song; they are singing it.
Right.
But we are listening to it and hearing them sing it.
Right. We getting
So
both.
why didn't they just have them come in
With the radio?
singing the song? Not even with the radio. Just have them come in singing the song like they were, because that's annoying
in its own.
That's annoying in its own way, because they'd be singing it like out of tune and kind of, you know what I mean? Like
Maybe they did, and it sounded so bad they had to.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, that could be it. But I just think it would be funny because, like, you know, we've all been there where, like, a roommate or someone comes home like that, and it's, like, it's annoying.
Yeah.
And there's not music playing with them.
I have a story where when you, Drew, Rob were all living together, and you were trying to sleep, but me and, like, a bunch of other people were up drinking, like, till, you know, forever.
Yeah.
We were playing the game
yeah.
Quarters.
Right.
Do you remember Quarters? That
Yeah, I remember
you have
Quarters.
to slam
Of course.
quarters on a table.
Yeah.
It was in the kitchen, like right next to your room,
Yeah.
and you came out.
don't
You
remember
were
this.
not happy. You were like, guys, I have to wake up in like 2 hours.
I don't remember that at all. Is it funny how you just, like, I was probably so pissed at the time and, like, don't remember that at
Right.
all. This is like the way they come in singing "The Boys Are Back in Town"
Mhm.
is like how fiance Katie and, like, her friend Kim will come home. Like,
Which
they'll
is
come in the
wild.
door screaming,
Storming.
yeah, like drunk and, like, just singing and doing whatever the hell. Yeah, this reminded me so much of Katie, like, coming home sometime.
Well, at least she's fun.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't take it like Maureen takes it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're singing "The Boys Are Back in Town," and Mac is spilling beer everywhere. He, like, whips his beer can in the sink at one point.
Yeah, it's foamy as hell. Dennis is humping a chair and he kicks it.
Apparently, Maureen comes out. It's 2 a.m. She's like, you know, she's upset because she's trying to sleep. And well, she's up now, baby girl. Let's do some shots.
I love that delivery.
Yeah. He says in such a crazy way. Let's do some shots. He says it in such a crazy way.
But Maureen is one of those people that thinks drinking makes people look ugly.
She's one of those people.
I've heard of them.
That is really.
Yeah.
That's just it's just a funny idea. Like, I don't drink. I think drinking makes people look ugly. It's such a crazy thing to say to me.
It's bold.
Like, I just
Yeah.
they make you look ugly. Like, what are you saying?
I think she thinks
don't-
it like hurts the integrity of their character,
Oh, I hate it. I just
and that
hate
to
it.
her
I
is
just-
ugly.
That's ugly.
It is
Yeah.
an obnoxious stance.
Oh man, yeah, I hate it.
You can think that,
Yeah.
just don't say it out loud.
And Mac's like, oh, maybe I should go to my room. And this is where we learn that it's a craft studio now. We get a quick little look at it. Like, quick little, like, the camera, like, shifts and then shifts back, like, real quick. You can see, like, a bunch of cat stuff.
No. It's all good, dude. She turned
It's all good, dude.
she turned it into a craft studio, where she makes terrible sweatshirts out of cats, or puts cats
Or
into
cats in
sweatshirts. Then I'm
sweatshirts.
like, dude, what the hell did you do?
Dude, the best part of that is the dude, what the hell did you do?
What the hell did you
It's
do?
such a very funny, like, dude, what the hell did you do? That is very funny. That is very funny. But and Maureen doesn't care for that. She wants to show some respect, you know, in front of his friends. But, you know, because she says, like, I'm your wife.
Yeah.
And Dennis, no, I don't think that's true. Because he married Maureen Ponderosa. And she is no Maureen Ponderosa.
That doesn't even. I don't even know what that means. What?
He does this thing where he just yells, divorce. And this is like, I do this to Katie all the time.
I will
all the time.
divorce you, Maureen. I'll do it.
I say that. I go, divorce. And I'm like, I'll walk in divorce right now. We're not even married yet, but I'm joking. Like, she'll do, like, truly nothing. It would be something so stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, divorce. You know, she'll drop like an ice cube. Divorce. And yeah, so this is where we get this is where the idea comes out, the divorce idea. And she does this. I hate this way. She says you're drunk, and I hate this. Like, Dennis is like, I'm not drunk. I'm more sober than I've been in my life. I hate when people can't admit when they're drunk. It's so obvious when people are drunk.
Well, sometimes they don't feel it.
I guess, but if someone
Nowadays,
says,
I can. I know
if you've
immediately.
been if you've been drinking and someone asks, "Are you drunk?" You're drunk, because they wouldn't ask you that unless you were. So, I mean, you're drunk. Like, that's it. Even if you don't feel it, guess what?
You are.
Yeah, you look it, and you might as well be it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, no. Then he does admit, yes, he is drunk. He says he's not, and then yes, he is. And she doesn't know what to say.
Don't say anything.
Before that, wait, before that, before
Okay, let me do
that. I will. Before that, he goes like, I don't love you. I find you annoying and strange.
I mean, that's my line of the episode.
Yeah, annoying and
strange.
Imagine saying that.
The way he delivers on strange.
Yeah, I find like what a combo.
To call someone strange.
Strange is very funny. Like annoying and strange.
It's his wife. How could she be strange?
And she doesn't know what to say about that.
Don't say anything, because every time you open your mouth, it's like, oh, it's like a breath. It's always so bad. It's like the dead. It's the dead tooth. I'm saying it now. I'll say it. You have a dead tooth. You realize that, right? And I hate it. And it's annoying.
That might be my line. I hate it. It's annoying. What, like, he wouldn't admit to himself earlier about the dead tooth.
I know.
Like,
why did he completely ignore that?
Does she know she has a dead tooth?
Well, she knows now. She knows now.
And it's annoying. She says like she says, you and your boy toy, won't you get out of my apartment?
Boy toy.
He likes it. Yeah, I'm the boy toy. And they're saying like, no, it's my apartment. And she says, if you don't get out, she's gonna call the cops and she's gonna tell them that he beat her.
I never touched you.
Then she starts doing this like thing. It's like she's like punching she's using her right hand and punching her left chest like across her body, her left shoulder.
Right. It's a light pounding. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like the sound is so funny. Like when she's like pop, pop, the sound sounds like they're like punching a leather jacket full of meat, like the sound department or whatever. Like whoever's doing that, it's like poof, poof, poof. She's like punching her thing, and the look on her face is so funny. Like she's so
nuts.
good.
She's in the zone.
But they recognize this.
What is that?
That's from Fear. It's from the movie Fear.
Oh shit, that's the Marky Mark.
That's Marky Mark. Now, have you seen Fear?
I've seen bits and pieces. I never actually fully watched it, but from what I gather, it's like
I never seen it either. And I meant to watch like the YouTube of this. I totally spaced and forgot. I wanted to watch like the scene in the movie or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's Mark Wahlberg like beats himself up and then says like some other guy did it or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's so Mark Wahlberg's dating someone's daughter. The daughter.
How do you know all this?
Because I've seen bits and pieces. I
Oh,
just told you
okay,
that.
this is you piecing it together
From what I
bits and
remember.
pieces. Okay.
Okay, so Marky Mark is an older guy. He's dating this man's daughter. The guy doesn't like him, says stay away, and Mark's like, I'm just gonna he ended up like hurts himself to say that guy did it, to put the father away, to get him out of the picture.
Oh, okay.
So
the only thing I know about the movie Fear all comes from that Sideshow Bob episode of The Simpsons.
Oh,
Where
I haven't seen that, or in a long
where he
time.
he hides under the car and then they go on the boat.
Okay, I didn't know that was part of a Fear.
I think that's a
reference.
Fear thing. I could even be wrong about that.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
pretty
you
sure
obviously
it
haven't
is.
seen Fear, so I don't know why you're making these speculations.
Now, would you like if someone started doing punching their shoulder like that? Would you piece it together? That's from Fear. That's the Marky Mark. They get there really fast. They get there. They do it.
I think I would because it was in the trailer for the movie.
Okay. It's also in the context of I'm going to tell them you beat me.
Right.
And she says, and like she's only punching her shoulder.
I mean, barely. I mean, like she looks like she's doing it very, very softly. So it's like
in like the movie, I'm sure he's like really like hurting himself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But this is just like lightly punching her shoulder, and they're like, "Let's get out of here." And I know that clip that we just listened to that scene. And I know it was super long, but all the scenes in this episode are long.
yeah.
Did you notice that? They're like kind of
They are.
like they're like.
Well, I think
they are.
I think they got the time to flush them out because it's a two-parter, and we also don't have that Mac storyline.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it is. So it is a little long one, but it's just so funny. It's just like Dennis really shines in that. Like
Yeah.
it's annoying.
I mean, I
like
think
how does he even get his voice there?
I think this is his moment of this season.
Yo, totally. So at Dee's apartment, Bill Ponderosa makes himself at home, and Dee kicks him out.
So Pondy's pretty comfortable.
Yeah, he's in a robe, open robe, and underwear, like tighty whities. And there's just like shit everywhere. There's stuff all over the place. And Dee comes in, and she's disgusted, obviously, by him. And he's like, "Want to have sex?"
Well, I mean, it was a polite offer, you know. God no. Close your legs up.
Now, and then she's like, "Listen, I gotta talk to you. This right here," and she points to a picture of his kids. Like, man, I gotta say, it's pretty bold to put a picture of your kids with the woman your
mistress.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's so soon too.
Yeah, like I don't know, like and I'm totally on Dee's side. This would bum me out. Like this
100%.
is bumming me out.
Like, who are these?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to look at these people.
Yeah. So let's talk game plan, Ross. Let's talk game plan. Number one, let's talk about the car. The car is off the table, okay? She's keeping the car. It's off the table. Let's not talk about the car.
I don't give a shit about the car. My life isn't
That's
ruined.
good. She goes, "That's great."
I'm gonna
He goes,
lose my kids.
Yeah, her response to that is, "That's great. Okay, good. The car. I'm keeping the car." Secondly, then she just yells, "Get out!" She's yelling, "Get out" at him.
Get out!
Pretty bold of Dee to like keep the car.
Well, I mean, I think that's what she was in it for, man.
She's not just gonna go passing up free cars.
No, I mean, I'd take a free car.
So, but she's like, "You need to get back together with your wife," and he's like, "Well, I don't have a car. I can't get there. I need the car."
Well, the car's off the table, okay? We discussed the car, and we came to an agreement that stop bringing up the car, okay?
They all do this thing where they like don't finish sentences,
Yeah.
and it makes it sound real.
Absolutely, 100%.
So they finally figure out that she's gonna drive him over there and drop him off, basically. So then at the bar, Dennis and Mac wash up in the sink as Charlie and Frank come in arguing, and they all decide to hire a lawyer. So Dennis thinks that they're washing up. So we get a nice like second beat of this like washing up in the sink thing where the both of them are doing it together.
Right. And I think if the episode was longer, we could continue that with everyone from the gang.
Totally,
You know?
all of them. Yeah, or it should have been like, if I was my first idea would have been to have
Charlie.
Dennis, Mac, and Bill Ponderosa, because Dee kicked him out.
Oh, yeah, that's
you know
right.
what I mean. So yeah, so Dennis here, they're talking here, and Dennis seems to think that the divorce is going to be amicable. He seems to think this is going to go smoothly, and it's just sort of like, as he says, like, divorce, marriage, it's just something you do. It's a formality. It's just like something you do.
Yeah, I mean, there's a thought. I feel like a lot of people think that, but
Yeah, and
Not so
Dennis
much.
doesn't have a great example from his parents.
that's true.
So it's sort of like, I don't know, like he just sort of thinks like, oh, like we'll get a divorce and then that's it. I mean, that can happen, but Maureen doesn't seem to be that type of person.
No, she doesn't.
And this is where Charlie. It's funny because they're like, it's a funny little like beat where Dennis says, the divorce will be fine. It'll be amicable. And then Charlie and Frank come bursting in, arguing
Right.
about getting a divorce,
And
right
like
when he
screaming
says
at
it'll
each
be
other,
fine.
encouraging it, like,
Yeah. And apparently Charlie brings nothing to the table.
oh, I bring nothing to the table. Oh, really? You ever stop to think a second where all the groceries come from? How did my laundry get so clean? Who washes all the dishes?
Ross, nobody washes the dishes. We eat off the table, and you know it. We straight off the dining room table, and you know it. That is like, that's crazy. Like, and like that idea is so crazy. And the fact that like So what is Charlie like? So it's even weird to me to have for Charlie to mention groceries. Can you imagine there being in that apartment there being groceries?
No, not really. I think it just means like miscellaneous ingredients.
Yeah, maybe that's right. Yeah,
Where all the ketchup packets come from.
Where do they do laundry? Like, how do they do laundry?
We don't know. I mean, maybe in a sink somewhere.
And there's no dishes to wash, obviously. So Charlie's going a little crazy here, I think.
Yeah, I think it's funny to play on the gender that we were kind of like talking about earlier with like the purse and like now
Right.
Charlie
Yeah,
is
it's
also
sorta
kind
like-
of like being home wife.
Right. Yeah, they're arguing like an old married couple.
Right.
And yeah, it's sort of like I don't know. It's strange, but like their whole relationship here is so strange. Like it's kind of strange. Like, why? Like the only thing different is that they say they're married. They already live together,
Right.
and they're going to continue doing. Yeah, exactly. They're going to continue living together when then after this too. Like nothing. Like Dennis's situation completely changes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their situation is exactly the same, but they can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
They're having problems. I don't know. It's very strange. Like why all of a sudden
they're acting these
Charlie's like, I get the groceries. And I'm like, why all of a sudden? Like that's still gonna happen after the divorce.
and it did before.
They did before, yeah. So and they're like, so Frank's like, I'm gonna pull the plug. Oh, you're just gonna flush the marriage down the toilet. Go ahead and flush it. They're screaming
Flush
at
it,
each
big
other.
boy.
And like, okay, Frank's like, okay, I'm gonna get an oil. Frank's like, okay, I'm gonna get a lawyer. Let's get that idiot lawyer. He always did right by us. This is so crazy. But you remember the Kitten Mittens episode, right?
Yeah, he slapped a restraining order.
He slapped a restraining order on. What a nice little bit of continuity
Yeah.
that they keep going.
Thanks for the callback, Mac.
yeah. Max should have looked at the camera and said, from the Kitten Mittens episode.
You remember, right?
That's right. So yeah, he's got a restraining order on them. This is where Dennis is like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting a divorce too." I love Charlie's little like, "Oh yeah, it's going around. It's going around."
And Mac even had to be like, "Yeah, we should talk about getting a lawyer for you."
And he's like, kind of like, why? Like, why? And
He
like,
still hasn't.
That's what I mean. Is that too dumb for Dennis to like not realize he needs a lawyer?
I think he's under the assumption that marriage and divorce is like a pretty simple process these days, as opposed to like a long time ago. I don't know.
It can be.
Sure,
but
I guess.
again, he's not reading Marine. You know what I mean? Like he should realize that she's not gonna be like cool. She hasn't been cool at any point
whatsoever.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. Charlie actually knows a lawyer. He actually knows someone who'll do it.
Is it you? Because if it's you, I'm not interested.
And he makes this like face like, oh, like I got caught. Like, oh man. And then we find out like, no, he actually fine then. He actually knows a family member that'll do it. So then we cut to Dee pulling up in front of Bill Ponderosa's house while she waits outside and he steals his kids. So we see Dee pulling up here in a really nice BMW. I mean, I like this. I would drive this.
Ooh, what kind of? Did you look up the model?
And I didn't.
No.
I didn't. It's just a BMW convertible. How would I do that?
The Internet Movie Car Database.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Hey, let me look it up right now.
You're like the computer person from a movie. I need the schematics.
All right, so the Internet Movie Car Database.org says that this is a 2007 BMW 335i convertible. I'm sure that means something to somebody.
Tony probably knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, Tony knows.
I like this BMW. Like this is like I would much rather this than the Countach.
Yeah, it's a little more modest, I think.
Yeah, it's like a little. A little.
A lot.
Can you imagine like showing up to like? Imagine we had like an improv show and you showed up in a Countach.
Imagine if we had an improv show.
Yeah, right. Well, you know what I'm saying. Like, yeah. just like showing up, like but like showing up in something like this, it's kind of like, oh wow, that's a nice car, but it's not like something you would steal in Grand Theft Auto. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. My friend got married. Our mutual friend got married a few years ago, and his brother-in-law showed up. He's from out of state, and so he and his wife, my friend's sister. He rented a car. He rented like a crazy like Countach like car to show up to this backyard like birthday party or something for my friend.
Yeah.
I said it was his wedding, but it was his birthday party. So he rented this crazy like Countach car. Couldn't help but
It's
be
a funny
like,
bit.
I mean, it's a weird thing to do.
It is, but it's kind of a funny bit. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. It was a little like, what are you doing?
So Deacon's pulling up here in the BMW, and she's with Bill Ponderosa, and they pull up in front of a house, and he asks her to wait while he runs inside.
Whoa! I want to point something out because did you notice what he says?
The Ponderosa?
Yeah, the Ponderosa's Ponderosa. And do you know what the Ponderosa is a reference to?
Is this from Bonanza?
Yes. So the Cartwright family lived on a ranch called the Ponderosa. I did not know that. I had to Google like what is the Ponderosa, and it was like a fir tree.
It doesn't make sense to me though. The Ponderosa's Ponderosa. It just doesn't really kind of make sense to me.
Because the Ponderosa is the Cartwright's Ponderosa.
I know, but it's not
Ponderosa.
like I guess.
It's like he's saying
I
this
don't
is
know.
the Ponderosa's ranch.
Right, I guess. I mean, I listened to Andy Daly's Bonanza for Bonanza, so I'm pretty familiar with.
You're well grounded with Bonanza. Content.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
So I was surprised you actually knew that. I was like, whoa.
Because they go through the Bonanza episodes kind of like us, not completely in depth, but they do talk about the guest stars and they're in character the whole time. But it's still very, very funny. Bonanza for Bonanas for Bonanza. It's not bananas. It's Bonanna. Bonanas for Bonanza.
Don't even bother. Just give up.
Andy Daly. Just look for Andy Daly. He's like an incredible, funny comedian.
Very funny guy.
Yeah, but so I did catch him saying that, but I didn't mention it because I kind of don't. I don't like. It doesn't. It's like the Ponderosa's Ponderosa. It's like
I wouldn't know what that was
sense.
until I googled it.
It must have been improvised.
Maybe. Or did they name them the Ponderosas just for this joke?
No possible way. So, while Bill's running into the house here, into his Ponderosa, she takes this opportunity to give Dennis a call.
Like, for what, though? Just to brag about the situation?
Just to brag about the car.
Yeah,
brag about the car. She calls Dennis. Dennis is playing pool with the guys. And
billiards.
She's just, and she's like, what's going on your end? And Dennis lets her know he's getting a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows how that goes.
Had to let my guy go.
And he hangs up on her.
I like how she's in the middle of saying Bluetooth, and we only hear the blue.
Oh,
the
right, yeah.
That is kind of funny to me.
And because she's talking about the hands-free and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Dennis hangs up on her, and then outruns Bill Ponderosa with his two kids, which he drops in the back seat.
Yeah, and he just like slumps in, and he's like, go.
And they peel off. So then at the bar, Uncle Jack helps Frank and Charlie get an annulment.
I'm so glad you called, Charlie. Your uncle never hears from you anymore.
All right, well, you're kind of the only actual lawyer I know, doesn't have a restraining order against me, so I sort of had to call you.
I miss you too, bud.
With the touching. None of that.
You put off by my hands. I know they're very small. It's been very hard on me.
It is not. There's nothing wrong with your hands, okay? Can we just focus on the law?
Of course. All right. As far as shared assets, I'm not seeing much.
I'm keeping the hot plate over my dead body.
Hey, easy, boys. Don't let the dog off the leash, okay? Remember, the bigger man walks away first.
We can have the hot plate.
Ha ha! Hot dog! Now we're cooking with gas. Moving along to art holdings. All I'm seeing is a series of drawings of elephants.
Oh, yeah. Well, Charlie did the elephant drawings.
Yeah, but
You should keep them.
I did those for you, man.
I like them.
Well, you should like them. I put a lot of work into them. And thank you for saying you like them.
I've seen them and I like them too.
Yeah, they're good.
I'll keep the drawings, okay?
If I didn't know any better, I'd say there's a lot of love in this room.
Look, Jack, we just want to get back to where we were. That's
Sounds like what you guys want is an annulment. Right? It would essentially void your partnership.
Yeah, right. That sounds
marriage
perfect.
blows.
Preaching to the choir, fellas. All right. I just need both your signatures on here.
All right, that's easy enough.
Easy peasy. 1, 2. We did it. That's it. Your union has hereby been dissolved.
Why do we have to do all the touching and the hand holding if it was just...
It was fun. Hey, Mac, you mind snapping a photo for the website? But keep my hands out of the shot. I'll put them down here.
You guys, I need help. I don't know what to do. I just kidnapped Bill Ponderosa's kids.
All right. Are the kids confined in any way? Maybe in a crawl space or backyard bunker?
No, they're out in the car.
Have you touched them yet?
Absolutely not. What? Who is this man?
You don't need to...
Oh, no.
They're saying Uncle Jack. Good to see Uncle Jack again.
Yes, of course.
Interesting. Uncle Jack is a lawyer, and Charlie pretends to be a lawyer.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
It's an interesting little thing with them. Why? Like he never tries to learn from Uncle Jack, or
Yeah, I mean, it looks as though he wants to keep his distance from Uncle Jack.
yeah, because Uncle Jack is saying like, I miss you too, bud," and like Charlie's not even saying that. He's like saying like oh yeah, let's just get to this. Yeah, I miss you too, bud. He goes to kind of like hold his hand, and Charlie's like, no with the touching, and he goes, I know, you must be put off by my small hands.
It's been very hard on me.
We learn a lot about Jack here. Like a lot comes to like play that later on is like really explored.
Yeah, this is where like Uncle Jack, played by Andrew Friedman, by the way, like really comes to life. You know.
Yeah.
Like before, he was just like kind of this character. Like he doesn't really talk. You know.
He had a couple like kind of funny things here and there.
The Christmas episode.
Yeah, but he didn't have like a game.
Yeah, to play.
Other than the fact that he was like a creepy pedophile uncle.
Right, but now he has this hand game, like
the
touching.
He has this, like, hand game. Yeah,
and the
and
desperate
being
to
a
hang
lawyer, being like a shitty lawyer.
Yeah.
You know. So they start going through the divorce here, and they're not seeing much, but for the shared assets, they have a hot plate.
I'm keeping the hot plate.
Now, why do they have a shared assets a hot plate?
Well,
what does that mean? They both like what does that mean?
Well, it's in their marital home, so it's like something they both use. It's not like my toothbrush, you know.
Right. Okay.
I couldn't think of a better example.
So they start fighting over this. They're like, "No, I want the hot." They start yelling about the hot plate. But Jack has like kind of intervenes, and Jack sort of calms them down, and he does this like little bit of wisdom here, where the bigger man walks away.
Easy, boys.
You know?
Don't let the dogs off the leash, okay?
And like Frank takes that and is like, yeah, okay, fine, you can have the hot plate. Like Frank is like, I'll be the bigger man.
Yeah.
Like, Jack's like dumb advice like worked. And so then they move on to the art holdings, and it seems to be a series of drawings of elephants. Now the elephant drawings, it's interesting that they're kind of like they soften up when these elephant drawings come up.
Yeah,
because Charlie kind of like drew.
They're sentimental.
What was going on here? What happened here? Charlie drew
relationship where Charlie draws elephants for Frank.
Elephants.
I don't know. It's a weird choice.
And so Frank's gonna keep them because they were for him, and Charlie wants him to have them anyways, and he likes them. And by the way, Jack's seen them, and Jack likes them too. Like, isn't that such a funny detail?
If I didn't know any better, I'd say there's a lot of love in this room here.
And
he tries with the touching again.
Yeah, with the touching. And
Frank
Danny
corrects him
DeVito
this
wants to
time.
laugh.
Yeah,
Danny DeVito wants to
totally.
laugh when he does that. He's like, no, let's just get to like we want things to go back to the way they were. So basically, instead of a divorce, which I'm not, I should have looked it up. I'm not 100% sure of the difference between an annulment and a divorce, but essentially annulment, it just will wipe it off the board, doesn't exist, nobody gets anything. You know what I mean? It's just
Well,
it's a
I think there's a
wash.
real case for Charlie in the annulment situation because I did look up the difference. So
Okay.
an annulment is usually brought to light because of fraud or misrepresentation. So, like, one of the spouses has lied about something, like such as age or already been married, were the two examples.
Okay.
So,
Age.
like, if Frank misled Charlie into signing a document, like a prenup,
Right.
that would be
right.
like this fraud.
Fraud.
So a
Right.
divorce would happen otherwise.
Okay, good. All right, yeah. So they decide, like, yeah, okay, fine, we'll go for an annulment. So Jack, hands them the paperwork. They sign it, and then when they're like, yeah, we did it, great. And then this is so funny to me, like this little thing of Jack saying, "Hey Mac,"
Hey, Mac.
Like, he knows Mac.
You might snap out a photo for the website.
I just love that he knows Mac. Hey Mac. And he would. They were like childhood friends. I mean, he would
guess
know
so.
Mac.
You'd be over the house or something.
Yeah, and yeah, he wants to take a photo for the website, and in true Always Sunny like style, like I don't even aesthetic. It's like an old like camera, like a disposable
Right,
camera.
yeah.
That you gotta like kind of like wind.
Hashtag camera.
Like we're well past those type of cameras.
Yeah, by then, yeah, for sure.
Oh, I mean, yeah, 2010.
Yeah, I had a
mean,
digital
We had
camera.
those digital cameras when we were in high school.
Yeah. I mean,
so yeah, it was like
I think I still used like the wind up ones like until I
For
was like maybe
fun.
20 or something. Yeah, for fun.
Yeah,
'cause,
for
like, you get
fun,
to see
yeah.
the development and remember
yeah.
that.
Yeah, but it's funny. He wants like this is for a website. He wants these physical pictures for a website.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it'll be harder to convert to the web than just to get a digital.
Oh yeah,
camera.
you have to scan it. You have to format it. Like it's a lot.
And this is where he even says like, "I'll keep my hands out of the shot." He like puts his hands down below under the desk. And this is where Dee comes in, kind of in a panic, and she kidnapped the kids. She has Ponderosa's kids in the backseat of her car.
All right.
Well, she doesn't say where they are. She says she's taking the kids.
All right. Are the kids confined in any way? Maybe in a crawl space or a backyard bunker?
And she's like, "What? No.
Have you
in my car?
Have you touched them yet?
Who is this man?" I love that response.
Who is this man?
Who is this man? Have you touched them yet?
Yeah,
And
like
then
that
you
was always the intention.
And you can see, like, I don't know if you noticed this, man, but Glenn Howerton breaks.
Yes, he does.
He breaks.
laughs.
And he kind of covers it up a little bit, but
he tries to do like
breaks.
a teeth like clenching, but like he laughs.
Yeah, he laughs. And yeah, so who is this man? They don't really even like tell her. They're just like, "Oh,
No, you don't need to.
And then this was screaming outside. So then the gang goes out front to see what's going on, and we see Bill and his mistress, and then his wife shows up.
Yeah, it's a party out
And-
here.
Yeah, Bill's arguing with some lady here, and you got anything on this woman?
Yes, this woman is called Slutty Woman. It's played
saw
by.
that.
It's terrible. I had to write woman in my notes every time. All right, Jamie is played by Jamie Sorrentini. That's like a name, right?
Yeah, it's like someone from high school.
Yeah. She was in Babysitters Club, Sopranos, Law and Order, House, General Hospital. Shit, Scientologists say. And she seems to otherwise just mainly be a theater actor.
Nice.
Yeah.
We see her out front here, and she's arguing with Bill, and Dee comes up and like is like real kind of like apologetic.
Yeah, she like
and she's-
introduces herself, and I'm like, what is this
Yeah.
all for?
And like
But-
the woman doesn't even like want to shake her hand. She like moves like, "What are you doing?" And
Yeah.
he's like, I understand. I get that."
Yeah, she apologizes for kidnapping the kids, which is like
Yeah,
kind
but-
of the big lead in.
And she's like, "No, I'm not his wife."
Oh,
And we find out that she's his mistress.
what the hell, man? Like, how do you-
That is so funny. The "what the hell, man" is so funny. What the hell, man? So apparently he was cheating on his mistress with D.
Right.
He was cheating on his wife with his mistress, and then cheating on his mistress with D.
Right. What a chain.
what a crazy chain. And we find this out, and this is where another car pulls out. And man, how many mistresses does this guy have?
I'm not his mistress. I'm his wife.
Will we get anything on his wife?
Yes, she gets the name Jane Ponderosa. She's played by Cheryl Texiera. She was born in 1982 from Mahopac, New York. She was in Parks and Rec, Shameless, Happy Endings, Mike and Molly, Confessions of a Bitter Actress, Confessions of a Bartender, Girl Meets World, and Confessions of a Yogi. She has a lot to confess.
I love her acting. Her acting is so good. When she goes back to the car, she's like, "I want this over. How much for it, whore? How much for it, whore?" Like she's like her body language, and she's like freaking out.
Going
like,
in on it.
It seems real. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she's freaking
real for her.
out, like and, as she should be. You know, she calls D a whore, and she's like, and D's like, "No, I'm not a prostitute."
I mean,
obviously,
clearly.
she like points at herself. She go ahead clearly. She like, points
that's
at
clear.
clearly. You know. It's clear. And wow, congratulations. She's the only one he didn't have to pay for sex. That's pretty harsh.
Yeah, I mean, Dee should really, she probably doesn't care too much for herself right now.
So then the mistress pulls away in the BMW.
Yeah, so now both cars are out of the picture.
Yeah, because she takes the kids, we should say. She takes the kids. But she tells him to stay. But yeah, both cars are gone. And Dennis and Mac are like watching this whole thing go down, and Dennis is like, the gravity of my situation is just sunk in. Like how crazy that all just was.
Yeah, let's go get you a divorce.
Let's go get you a divorce.
And I'll note that we don't see Charlie or Frank for the rest of the episode, which is a long time.
Oh yeah,
and especially for an ending, right?
Well, they wrapped it up. They got an annulment, and they're happy. I mean, their storyline is done.
I guess.
So then at Dennis and Mac's apartment, Jack and the lawyer go head to head, and Jack gets Dennis his apartment back. So when they're in the apartment, when they're in the hallway here, and they're gonna knock on the door. Jack is wearing a fanny pack.
So we're outside the apartment.
Yeah.
Earlier in the episode, the apartment number was 25. Now it's 5.
I did not notice that, and that was not. I didn't notice that when they do the continuity thing on IMDb and stuff. Wow.
I mean, unless I got it wrong,
Interesting.
I don't think I did, but because I was
Wow,
particularly
that's
noting apartment numbers. D's was number 9.
9. Yeah, number 9. Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. Oh, so and apparently Jack is here with a fanny. He has a fanny pack on. What's he got in there?
Check this out, Mac and Dennis. Just a little victory dance. Thought maybe we could hang out at later.
She's like he's like Gail the snail.
Yeah, he has like kind of a whispery tone to him.
Now, so this is interesting here. A victory dance. So, okay. So I've been calling, like after an improv show, or whatever. I would have a joint, and I would call it the victory dance. My victory dance is what I would call it. And now that comes from the movie Independence Day, where Will Smith had these cigars. After a battle, they would smoke, and he calls them his victory dance. He's like, I got my victory dance. He calls the cigar a victory dance more than once in the movie.
Oh, okay.
So that's where I got it from. My whole life, I treated something you smoke after something. I call it a victory dance as like,
cool.
Because that movie is
no, I didn't catch that reference. I never saw it.
So wait, so then Jack says it's the victory dance, right? So I'm like thinking, oh wait, is this a saying? You know what I mean? Like what is this? I looked all over the internet, man, and I can't find anything but Independence Day. So I don't know if I guess Independence Day invented it.
Yeah, I think they did then.
But it's weird to see Jack say that.
I guess.
Is he referencing Independence Day, or is that a thing people say?
I think it's Independence Day thing.
Because I'm referencing Independence Day when I
don't know it otherwise.
Yeah,
or at all.
yeah, it's very interesting. A victory dance.
got
And
what
I
he was
like
saying.
I think it's cool. I think it's poetic.
Yeah.
A victory dance. Like it's like just the way you celebrate. You know what I mean? Anything is a victory dance, just the way you celebrate.
The after party.
So yeah, he's got these so he's got these cigars, and he's very Gail the Snail trying to get them to hang out. And they knock on the door, and we open the door here to find the lawyer and Maureen together.
Oh, Mr. Reynolds.
Bad news. I mean, this is bad news.
Yeah. Dennis is like, what are you doing here?
Apparently, yeah, when he found out that they were getting a divorce, and he was compelled to involve himself. And apparently, Mac has called him drunk.
I so enjoyed you drunkenly explain that all at 3 a.m. I enjoyed it so much that I tracked down Maureen here and offered her my services. Pro bono, of course.
And Jack, this is where Jack kind of like steps up, like, I'll handle this kind of.
Hold
thing,
on,
you know what I mean?
fellas. I'm Jack Kelly. I'm a lawyer.
He says the pleasure is all mine. That's what the lawyer says.
Yeah.
And they do this like pleasure bit.
Yeah.
Where like
It's a pleasure to meet you.
He's like, it's pleasure's still mine. And like the way Jack is like, what, starstruck or
I don't
what
know.
is going on?
He's in awe of this guy.
He's
He lost his cool, dude.
yeah, and then like he's like, let's get started, and he just let's get started. He just kind of like repeats.
Yeah,
like,
he
he's
absolutely just repeats the line for line.
he's just stunned.
I mean, it's great acting.
It really is. It really is so good. And this is where Mac, Maureen, and Dennis now are standing alone together, and it's like kind of awkward.
Oh boy.
And I love this when Mac is just wants like, I'm gonna leave, and they're like, no, stay. And he just goes, yeah, but I don't want to.
But I don't want to.
But I don't want to. Don't you wish you could just say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
Even Maureen wants them to stay.
Yeah, it's like awkward for all of them. Yeah,
Right.
it's like awkward for them two together. Yeah, they come out like right away. The lawyers come back out, and it was an open shut case. And apparently he won them the apartment back, and they start celebrating.
Well, let's slow down a little bit. I feel like we're speeding up too fast. I want to go over like some of the dialogue too.
Okay.
I get
What do you want me,
from
what do you want me to jump
them
back to?
returning from the room. Because it's Maureen's craft room. I want to point out that they were just
Okay.
in Maureen's craft room. Like, what?
Yeah, then before Mac has a chance to leave, the lawyers come back out like right away. They were in there for what, a minute?
At tops. I mean, they barely had a conversation, so. But they come out of Maureen's craft room, which I think is funny that they went into like a private area. Like, why couldn't they do this like in front of everybody? Like, what?
Yeah,
what was
yeah.
to
Like
hide?
where they have the room to do anything in there?
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
the place is packed. And
But
they come out.
apparently it was. Go ahead.
Oh, and they come out talking about like what hand lotion that the lawyer uses.
Yeah, he's obsessed with hands. Yeah.
Like, you've got the goods.
And apparently it was an open and shut case.
Did you get the apartment back?
He got the apartment back. He did, yeah.
And they all go in for a celebratory yay, and Jack wants to hug him.
Yeah, right. No, they're not into that. But he got the apartment back, and all Dennis has to do is assume Maureen's debt. About $90K.
Oh.
$90K?
$90K. Well, like, so, like, what did she, like, how was she that far in debt?
How did she just, maybe because she moved and like, well, how did she move? Like, she only owned the stuff that was in their craft room?
I guess so. I mean, where were her clothes and stuff? Or other items that were in her apartment. So she must be still renting this other place, right?
I don't know. Yeah, sure. But she's $90K. That is a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of cheddar.
Maybe Bill borrowed the money from her to buy the BMW.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Bill's fronting for her too.
So not only does he have to pay, not only does he have to assume her debt, he's also paying alimony.
Wait a second, I have to pay alimony payments? Uncle Jack, what the hell?
I love that he calls him Uncle Jack. Don't
Yeah.
you? Dennis calls him Uncle Jack.
What the hell?
And this guy's he's a good lawyer.
Froze up. He's great.
He's great. And he wants to get another photo for the website.
Mac.
So Mac's gonna take a picture. And we get this great like shot of Dennis on the left, Jack in the middle, and the lawyer on the right. And Jack wants to put his hand. He wants the lawyer to put his hands over his hands
To look like his hands.
to look like his hands, even though the lawyer's sort of like bent over and like in front of him.
Right.
It's crazy.
This is an awesome freeze frame.
And I was gonna say that they take the picture and you see the free frame of Dennis looking like upset and confused.
Yeah.
And the lawyer's hands. Oh, and I love that the lawyer was like, "Yeah, I'll do that."
Yeah,
I'll
he
put my
doesn't
hands
even
over
question it. He's just like, yeah.
yours." He doesn't.
All right, yeah, sure.
This would make an incredible like DOS bootleg type of
Yes, I was thinking the same
The-
thing. 'Cause
the
this is
three of
such
them
a
together.
solid frame.
shit. Yeah, yeah. And I love Jack's like, "We're lawyers for the website. We're lawyers." And then then we get the
That's it.
closing credits. That's it. Is it? And Ross, what is your favorite character?
My favorite character is Dennis for that crazy scene.
Yeah, I'm going with Dennis too. And what is your favorite dialogue?
Well, it's gonna come from Dennis's like long speech, essentially.
Yeah,
But
I think it's annoying, that whole thing.
you're annoying and you're strange. Like that.
You're strange.
That
Yeah.
delivery of that
The
hits me every
delivery,
time.
yeah. I'm gonna go the same, yeah. And my favorite scene too is that scene.
Yeah,
The boys are
of
back in
course.
town. I mean, that's the
I mean,
one. I mean,
That's what this
it's, like,
whole
so
two-parter was for, I think.
Marine in that episode, that scene is so good.
Yeah,
It's
Marine's
just, yeah.
great.
And now, Ross, I hate to break this to you. Now, this is gonna sound crazy, Ross, but this
Get out.
episode has no trivia.
So what happens now?
I think you get the night off.
We just awkwardly walk away?
Now, I even tried like there's no trivia whatsoever on IMDb. And then I looked at the trivia on the Always Sunny wiki page. Now, Ross, this is under the trivia section. You tell me if you think this is trivia, okay? Mac and Dennis mentioned the movie Fear with Mark Wahlberg and William Peterson. Ross, is that trivia to you?
No.
Yeah, no shit. Like,
I mean,
what
they
is that?
mention a lot of things. I mean, you could say that what type of car D was
I
driving
know.
could be
I
trivia.
mean, I mean, yeah, like that's just something that happened.
Right.
That's not trivia.
I mean,
that happened.
Hashtag camera.
Yeah, exactly. So Ross, yeah, I don't have anything for this. This is you get the night off. I hope you're happy.
Thank you.
The fans, everyone's happy.
Everyone's
It's a win-win for everybody.
It's a big
Everyone
win
but
for
me.
everybody. We got the apartment.
So Ross, our final thoughts here. Ross, can you not get enough of this episode? Once you pop, you can't stop, or you're gonna flush this episode right down the toilet.
Once I pop, I can't stop. I mean, this is a great episode
I think I would put this in my top 5
of all time.
Yeah, I think it would be up there. Like it would be. It's a very memorable. Like it's like where like the Marine thing really pops off, and
Uncle
you
Jack
would never
really
think
develops too.
Uncle Jack, and you would never imagine Marine coming back, and you definitely would never think that Bill would come back.
Yeah, right.
I
I
mean,
would
you
imagine
would never
Bill's
think that.
gone.
Yeah, like, but no, these become like permanent fixtures. These they get on the bench. They're on the bench.
Yeah, and we're in season 6, acquiring new cast. Like it's
yeah. Yeah.
funny to me that
And they're great
the
pickups.
show's still growing at this point.
And they're great pickups. And like Bill really becomes like a character. Like when later
very
on, you
likable
find out
guy.
how wild
He turns
and
into a
crazy
likable
he
guy.
is. But he is wild and crazy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Living life on the edge.
and he becomes like a buddy of Frank's,
Yeah,
which is
it's
funny.
weird. Frank acquires all these like sub-character like
Yeah.
Artemis, and like he's drawn to these
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. We haven't seen Artemis in a while, or the McBoyles.
No, we haven't seen the McBoyles in I think a couple of seasons, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this episode is there's a lot and long scenes and it's just so funny. I think it's better than the first one.
Yeah.
first
No, I
half.
think you're right. It hits harder.
Yeah.
But I do love the Carmen scenes from.
Yeah, of course.
Those are so
Yeah.
funny.
And that episode, yeah, of course, that episode is great. But like, there's just something about this. The Dennis in this episode is just so.
Yeah, this
good.
is the real payoff.
Yeah. Well, all right then, Ross. What do we got going on in the next episode?
Next episode is The Gang Buys a Boat. So.
Oh man,
Yeah.
this is okay.
This is an awesome one.
So what can we expect?
We can expect a used car lot dancing man.
Yeah. We can expect. I love this episode. We can expect Charlie diving for horse teeth, or some sort of battle or something under there.
We can expect the implication.
I was gonna say that this is the implication. Like,
I mean, this is huge.
Ross, are you saying you're gonna hurt these women?
I'm not saying any of these women are in danger. You certainly wouldn't be in any danger.
Mac is as funny as Dennis is during that. Mac's like reactions to all that
very
is
funny.
so funny. Yeah, like just how confused he is about it. Yeah, we can expect some.
Are they in danger?
Some.
It sounds like they
we
are.
can expect. We can expect some tasty treats.
Oh God,
Tasty
Just,
treats.
I don't like the way that sounds.
This episode, I remember this episode being very, very, very. It's a this is like.
Oh, totally.
This is a classic. If you're gonna say like, For Always Sunny, it's a classic, and it like really only takes place at that boat dock, like the whole episode.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
in the store, and they go to a store at one point.
Well, yeah, I just mean the whole
Yeah,
area.
totally.
I think that dock is like that store is like on the dock. It's like
Oh
right there.
yeah, then it's very self-contained.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I can't wait. All right, well yeah. Until I guess thank you everyone for listening, and we appreciate it. And till next week, and when we get to that episode,
Good
a
day.
good day
to
to use.
Always Sunnycast is not endorsed or affiliated with Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the FXX network, or Philadelphia. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of Eric Regan and Ross Northrop. Email thoughts, questions, suggestions, corrections, or things we just plain forgot to alwayssunnycastpod@gmail.com. And if you have a moment, please rate, subscribe, and review the podcast. And as always, thanks for listening, you jabronis.